Imagine for a moment you're about to make a big decision. Maybe buying a new car or getting some machinery inspected for your business.
Yeah, or even choosing a building to live or work in. Big stuff.
Exactly. How do you really know it's safe? How can you trust it meets the quality standards? Often you're relying on just one word, inspected.
And that word, inspected, it carries so much more weight than people generally think.
Right. So today we're doing a deep dive into the hidden world behind that word. We're looking at the gold standard for organizations doing these checks, ISO IE 17020.2012.
And this isn't just some, dusty old checklist. It's really the blueprint for trust, for integrity, competence, everything you want in what they call inspection bodies.
Okay, so our mission here is to unpack this standard. It looks complex, but we want to show the layers of detail, the dedication needed to make sure those inspections actually mean something solid.
We want to show you what makes an inspection body trustworthy, reliable, and importantly, why this all matters to you.
Okay, let's unpack this then. What really goes into ensuring something is truly reliably inspected? Where do we start?
Well, you have to start with the absolute bedrock, the foundation, and that's impartiality and independence.
Makes sense. When someone's inspecting something, maybe a critical piece of equipment or, I don't know, food safety, what's the biggest worry?
Bias.
Sorry.
Absolutely. That's the number one concern. Are they being swayed? Is there some hidden agenda? So ISO IEC 17020 puts this right up front. Clause 4.1, it forces these bodies to actively look for potential bias, not just the obvious stuff.
Okay.
It demands documented procedures. Things like conflict of interest declarations everyone has to sign, a really transparent organizational structure so you can see who reports to whom.
Right.
The core idea is that the inspection body has to be genuinely free from undue commercial, financial, or other pressures. That's the standards wording.
So they're checking contracts, their own policies.
Constantly. Reviewing contracts, policies, even internal relationships. Anything that could potentially compromise the inspection's integrity. Even subtle pressures.
Wow. So it's not just about, don't take a bribe. It's way deeper. It's building a system to actively prevent bias.
Exactly. That's the key. It's systemic.
Right.
And for you, the listener, this is the core promise. It means the inspection should be fair, objective, unbiased, protecting you from bad results that could be, dangerous or costly.
Okay. So impartiality is key. But during these inspections, they must gather tons of sensitive information, right? About products, maybe company secrets.
For sure. Client data, test results.
How's that protected?
That's the next crucial bit. Confidentiality. Clause 4.2. Safeguarding confidential client information is paramount.
Right.
Clear, documented procedures again, things like strong confidentiality agreements, legally binding ones, and robust IT security like access controls to protect digital data.
So proper locks on the digital filing cabinet, essentially.
You could say that, yeah. They need to show they treat client information with extreme care.
This sounds like a pretty serious operation. It's not just some guy deciding to inspect things on the side.
Oh, definitely not. Or at least it shouldn't be if they're following this standard. An inspection body must be a proper legal entity.
Meaning registered official.
Yes, backed up by company registration documents.
Oh.
But it goes beyond just being legal. Clause 5.1 and 5.2 talk about managing liabilities for inspection outcomes.
Liabilities, like if they get it wrong.
Precisely. They have to actively plan for that possibility. This often means having significant insurance certificates in place and doing thorough risk assessments of their own operations.
So there's accountability. If an inspection does lead to issues, there's recourse. They can't just vanish.
That's the idea. It ensures they're accountable, they stand behind their work, and you have somewhere to turn if things go wrong because of a faulty inspection. It adds weight to their findings.
Okay, so legal standing. Insurance. How does the internal setup, the structure of the organization itself support all this trustworthiness?
That's covered in clauses 6.1 to 6.5. They need a really clear internal structure. Roles, responsibilities, and authorities have to be clearly defined.
Like an org chart.
Exactly. You'd expect to see an organizational chart, detailed job descriptions. And crucially, coming back to impartiality, they need to actively manage internal and external relationships. Sometimes they use something called an independence matrix. It maps out potential conflicts or relationships that could even potentially influence decisions. It's about proactively identifying risks to impartiality.
Interesting, like mapping potential problems before they happen.
Yeah, it's a risk management tool for bias. And all of this, everything they do, needs to be underpinned by a documented management system.
Like a big rule book.
Sort of. Think of it like their operating system. It could be a quality manual or detailed process maps. It describes how they do everything consistently. This systematic approach is what ensures reliability, day in, day out.
Okay, we've got the system, the structure, the legal stuff. But, at the end of the day, an inspection is only as good as the person actually doing it, isn't it?
Absolutely critical point. You can have the best procedures in the world, but if the inspector isn't competent.
Right. So let's talk about the people. Who are these inspectors, and how does this standard make sure they actually know what they're doing?
This is where clauses 7.1 and 7.2 get really interesting. The standard is meticulous about personnel competence.
How so?
Their qualifications and competencies have to be rigorously documented. We're tracking training records, maybe a competency matrix showing exactly what skills are needed for which inspection types, and proof the inspectors have those skills.
Okay, so they check qualifications when they hire someone.
Yes, but it's definitely not a one-time check. That's crucial. Ongoing training and evaluation is vital.
Ongoing, like continuous learning.
Exactly. You'd look for things like CPD logs, continuing professional development logs, proof that they're keeping up with new technology, new regulations, new methods in their specific field.
So the person checking, say, a modern electrical system isn't relying on knowledge from 20 years ago.
Precisely. And their performance needs to be reviewed regularly, too, through things like performance reviews or witnessing them work.
So my trust in that final inspection report really hinges on knowing the person doing the work is not just qualified, but currently skilled and up to date.
That's it. It ensures expertise isn't static.
Okay, competent people. But even the best inspector needs good tools, surely, especially for measurements.
Absolutely. Think about it measuring tiny tolerances on machine parts, checking
Yeah.
temperatures, pressures. Faulty equipment would just destroy the credibility of the inspection.
Yeah, you need to trust the reading.
Right. So, clauses 8.1 and 8.2 cover equipment management. All inspection equipment must be clearly identified, maintained, and calibrated.
Calibrated, meaning checked against a known standard.
Exactly. Scientifically verified to be accurate. And they need proof up-to-date calibration certificates for every relevant piece of equipment. Detailed equipment logs tracking maintenance and usage.
And they have to keep records of all this.
Yes, retain records for all maintenance and calibration. It provides a traceable history, proving the equipment was accurate when the inspection happened. It's foundational for reliable measurements.
Okay, so we've got competent people, we've got reliable calibrated tools, and we've got this strong organizational structure focusing on impartiality.
Right.
Now, how do they actually do the inspection, the process itself?
Right, the inspection in action. This falls under Clause 9, covering methods, instructions, and sampling. They can't just make it up as they go along.
No winging it allowed.
Definitely not. They have to use documented and validated methods and procedures. These are often captured in SOPs, standard operating procedures.
And validated means proven to work.
Yes, proven to be suitable for the intended purpose, often through method validation reports. And these methods aren't set in stone. They need to be reviewed and updated regularly.
Okay, and the individual inspector. How do they know exactly what to do for this specific job?
They're given clear work instructions, things like job cards or detailed checklists to ensure consistency. Everyone doing that type of inspection follows the same key steps.
It's like a recipe then. Ensures everyone bakes the same cake, so to speak.
That's a good analogy. Consistency is key.
But what if they can't inspect every single item? If there's a huge batch of thousands of widgets coming off a production line.
Good question. That's where sampling plans come in, Clause 9.7. If they sample, the plan itself must be documented and statistically justified.
Statistically justified, meaning?
Meaning it's based on sound statistical principles to ensure the sample they do inspect is genuinely representative of the entire batch. You need confidence that the sample reflects the whole.
Okay. And what if they need outside help, like sending a sample to a specialized lab?
If they use subcontractors, Clause 9.6 kicks in. The inspection body is still responsible. They have to ensure subcontractor competence before they use them,
Oh.
usually through things like subcontractor audit reports or checking the subcontractor's own accreditations. They have to verify the quality doesn't drop just because someone else is doing a piece of the work.
Got it. So chain of quality is maintained.
Mm.
Now, what about the physical items being inspected? If I send, say, a critical component, how do I know it won't get lost or damaged while it's there?
Clause 9.8 addresses the handling of inspection items. Client items must be protected from loss or damage during inspection.
How do they track that?
Through meticulous tracking systems. Think unique identifiers, careful logging, often detailed in receiving and handling logs. It's about maintaining the integrity of the item throughout the process.
And all the data they generate, the measurements, the observations, the notes, what happens to that?
Record keeping. Clauses 10.1 and 10.2 are vital. All records related to the inspection must be stored securely, retrievable, and traceable.
Securely, like locked away.
Yes, physically and digitally secure. And they need a clear record retention policy saying how long records are kept, often for many years. It's about being able to go back and verify everything if needed. Traceability.
Okay, inspection done, items handled, records kept. Now, the final step, the report. What makes an inspection report under this standard trustworthy?
The report itself, clauses 11.1 to 11.3. Reports must be accurate, clear, and include required information. No ambiguity.
And they probably have examples.
Yes, you'd expect to see sample reports demonstrating their format. But crucially, reports aren't just churned out. They must be authorized and reviewed before release.
Meaning someone checks the checker.
Essentially, yes. A final quality gate. There should be approval records showing who reviewed and authorized that specific report before it goes to the client. It adds another layer of assurance.
This really ensures the information you get is reliable, complete, and defensible, I suppose.
Exactly. It needs to stand up to scrutiny.
Okay, that covers the whole process. But what if something goes wrong? What if a client isn't happy with the result, or they think the process was flawed? Is there a mechanism for that?
Absolutely. The standard requires systems for feedback and improvement. Clauses 12 and 13 deal with complaints and appeals.
So if I complain,
there must be a documented complaints handling procedure. They need to show how they receive, investigate, and resolve complaints. You'd expect to see a complaint log and resolution records.
so it's tracked and managed.
Yes, systematically. And clients must also be explicitly informed of appeal rights. There should be a separate appeals procedure if you want to formally challenge a decision or finding.
So clear pathways for raising concerns. That builds trust, too, knowing there's a process if you disagree.
Definitely. It's about transparency and fairness, even when things don't go perfectly.
Now, how do these inspection bodies make sure they're always meeting these high standards? Do they just get accredited once and that's it?
Oh no, it's very much about continual improvement. Clauses 14 and 15 cover internal audits and management reviews.
Internal audits? They check themselves.
Yes, they have to conduct regular internal audits covering all aspects of the standard. These audits need to be scheduled, conducted, and results recorded.
What happens if they find problems?
That's the point.
Yeah.
They often generate NCR's nonconformance reports. These highlight where they're not meeting the standard or their own procedures.
And then they fix them.
They have to. The standard requires them to investigate the root cause, implement corrective actions, and then crucially verify that those actions were effective. It's not just about finding problems, but proving they've been solved.
So it's designed to prevent the internal audit from just being a pat on the back.
Yeah.
They have to genuinely find and fix issues.
Exactly. The focus is on objective evidence. Show me the proof it's fixed and won't happen again. This self-correction mechanism is vital for driving continual improvement.
And who oversees all this?
That's where management reviews come in, Clause 15. Top management has to conduct these reviews at planned intervals.
What do they review?
They look at the whole system's performance. Inputs include internal audit results, client feedback, complaints, appeals, risks, resource needs, everything.
And the outcome?
Decisions and actions related to improving the effectiveness of the management system, the inspection processes, and resource allocation. It's the high-level check ensuring the whole ship is sailing correctly and constantly improving.
Wow. Okay, so when you put it all together, impartiality, competence, equipment, methods, records, reports, complaints, internal checks, management oversight. It's a lot.
It is. It's a comprehensive framework.
So what does this all mean for you, the listener?
Well, what we've really unpacked today is much more than just a checklist, isn't it? It's a deep commitment to integrity, to competence, to reliability.
Yeah, it feels like it.
ISO IEC 1202 20.2012 isn't just about, ticking boxes to get a certificate. It's about building and, just as importantly, maintaining trust.
Especially in areas that are critical: product safety, building safety, things we rely on.
Exactly. From the gadgets we use to the places we live and work. Understanding the standard, even broadly, is kind of a shortcut to being better informed about that invisible architecture of quality that supports so much around us.
So here's a final thought to leave you with. The next time you see a product or use a service or enter a building that's been inspected, take a second. Consider this intricate system of impartiality, competence, validation, and that constant drive for improvement that should be operating behind that simple label.
How might understanding this blueprint for accountability change the way you perceive quality, safety, and maybe even trust in your daily life?